Bentley here with Learn Guitar with Drew. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to play the blues with dominant 7th chords, string grouping 4-3-2-1, doing this with 4 different inversions and overlapping the 1, 4, and 5 chords. And we're going to throw in a little diminished chord action for some fun as well. But first, thank you so much for checking out the video. Okay, so here's where we begin. This is an E7 chord. It comes from the D form of the caged system, but we're going and playing a dominant chord instead. In this case, it's a root, a 5th, a 7th, and a 3rd. Okay, so this is called a drop 2 voicing. It's not in order, actually. It's not root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. It's something that happens when you take the second to the highest note and drop it into the bass. It's called a drop 2. And what happens is we end up with a root and a 5th, and then a 7th, and then a 3rd. So the chord is slightly out of order. So, well, it is out of order. So whenever we go to do our inversions are not going to be in order either. So what we're going to do is play the chord on each string. It's the root, it's the 3rd, that's the 5th, and that's the 7th. And we're going to do that as we move the chord up the neck. So if this is the root, it's going to be the 3rd. And the next voicing, this is the 5th, it's going to be the 7th in the next voicing, and so forth. This is the 7th, it's going to be the root, and this is the 3rd, it's going to be the 5th. So what I'm doing is taking each note of the chord and moving it one note higher in the chord, going from left to right horizontally, and I'm able to do an inversion of the chord. Looks like that. Okay, so moving forward, this one ends up being this, and this one ends up being this. So you can do that same formula for inversions all the time. Just play your root note and find the next note of the chord, the next note of the chord, next note of the chord, and then you build the chord off of that as the other notes also move up sequentially in the next note in their progression as well. So this is the first inversion, second inversion, third and fourth inversion. Well, you notice this guy here, these fingers, are not changing in the 3rd and 4th fingers. It's a very standard thing for guitar to have those 2 fingers move like that consecutively. Now, the 4 chord in the key of E is A, so here's our A7 chord. We're taking the chord that is the closest to the nut and doing the same formula. We get this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. We'll do this again. We have this guy, this one, and this one. And then we're going to look at B7 as well. Here's B7. The lowest B7 is down here, and then here, and here, and here. I'll do those again. Fingering should be 1, 3, 4. I didn't do that exactly right the first time. Here, here, and here. So now we get this. 1, 4, 5, 1. I could have gone like this, 1, 4, 5, 1. So as you can see, you can go in either direction. We're trying to stack those on top of each other. Here's 1 here, here's 4, and then 5 can be right here, back to 1 again. Or I could have done like this, 1, 4, 5, 1. So again, so here's E7 here, and then A7 is here. And then B7 is here and here. E7, and then A7, B7, E7. So I'll do this again. Now, as you can see, it's starting to sound like the blues as I overlap those. I can play a blues like this. It's just a great thing. If you throw an open string at the bottom, we get this. And so forth. We can throw the low string in the bottom, the open E string and the A string, and jam like that as well. That's cool. So now you'll notice I did this little thing. This is a little bonus here. What I'm doing is playing a diminished chord by moving this little triangle down one fret. I get this. So you can do that with all of the voicings, and now you get this thing like, maybe you hear like, now that's really cool sounding with diminished chords thrown into it as well. So what's happening here, this is where the turnaround comes from, the standard blues turnaround. You hear that goes. So I'm playing like E7 and then a diminished chord and a diminished chord, which is your standard kind of turnaround. So that's also thrown in there as well. So let's go over this again really quickly here. We have E7, A7, and B7. And we formulate those by playing the next inversion in line. Here's your E7s, A7s, and B7s. Back to E7s. And now we play the blues. Okay, thank you so much for checking out the video. Hope that was fun and informative. And I can't wait to see you at the next lesson.